This challenge is simple enough. I'm playing Pokemon X, but I can only use the first 6 encounters. That includes HMs and no duplicates. Alright, let's get this shit started. And my starter for this run is gonna be Chest Spin. Except, like last time, I'm not using my starter. Makes the challenge just a bit more interesting.
Maybe one day I'll get to use you.
And just like the last video, my true starter is a Pidgey. Maybe I'll just get to use you this video, because fun fact, last challenge I did, Pidgey was also my starter, and I got 0 screen time. I shall call you Do-Over. I got caught up in the last patch, second encounter. And it's a Scatterbug. I really am just repeating my previous team. Pidgey, and then the regional bug. I'm not too mad about it though. Vivillon's probably the best early game bug of all time. I mean, hell, learns Quiver Dance. I will call you Better Free. So here's where we're at. Got through Sandalwood Forest, only got 2 Pokemon to my team right now. We need a Water type to beat it. Luckily, it's Water types early in this run. In this grass in Route 3, we can either get a Bidoof or an Azurill. I don't really care. I mean, I actually do probably want Barrel more than a Azumarill, but you know, I'll settle for either one. And if I do get it early and I'm lucky enough, then I can save the future encounters for later out, so hopefully get some better shit. Let's see if we're lucky. And we don't. I can't complain too much though. I actually really like Digger's Beam. If I get to use one right now, it's gonna be dope. Well, I called the Gen 1 Rodent Lost. I'll call the Gen 6 one Deficit. Alright, let's go for round 2. Come on, show me Bidoof or show me Azurill. That's a Burmy. Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm not... Okay, no, I am pretty bummed about that, but hey, it's a bug steel type at least. I will call you Ruin. Alright, I got 2 more shots at this. That's dupes. That's dupes again. Oh my god, it's a 3rd bundle be in a row. That's a Fletchling. Oh god, I just realized, if I don't get a Bidoof or a Azurill next encounter, I just have to reset the run, I instantly lose. If I lose this run this quickly in it, that's gonna be hilarious. I mean, I'm obviously gonna restart, but oh my god. I'll just name you Y. Also, coincidentally, you're the first male, including my starter. Well, we got 1 more shot at this, and if I don't get it, I have to reset. Oh my god. As I catch this guarantee Pidgey, I gotta admit, I fucked up. Last run was possible. Diggersby, for whatever reason, can learn Surf. I just think about it, this is a normal ground type. Why the fuck would it learn Surf? So yes, last run was possible. That being said, I'm not correcting it, because oh my god, that team sucked. Let's see if luck bears me this time around. I'll call you Charm, as in 3rd time's a charm. Aw, I didn't get as far. 2nd encounter, and it's... another Scatterbug. Alright, I caught the little bug. Didn't make it out Route 2. I'll call you Betterfly. Ah, I got another encounter. And it's Weedle. This team is really shaping up. I mean, a poison type isn't awful in Gen 6 of all the fairies, but... Call you Drill-O-Matic for no reason. Oh, another one. Dupes, that's dupes. And I got through the rest of Sandalwood Forest without any encounters. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip Route 3 in total this time around. Go to Route 22. Odds are a bit better, and hey, if I don't get it the first try, there's some dope-ass Pokemon there anyway. Alright, first encounter Route 22. First time's a charm, it's a Azurill. You know, I know it's a Bidoof probably would've been better, but this thing is a fairy type now. And I'll call you Luck. So here's the team for now. And if I do hold off on getting encounters, that means I can't grind, but it is only Viola, and I should be fine. She only has a Vivian. I can take her with this team. And I was going to run around to get friendship for Azurill, but since I can't get any encounters, I need to take over 19,200 steps for it to evolve. And I ain't doing that. And thanks to some switch training, Drill-O-Matic can evolve into a Kakuna. I'm not too worried for Viola, but honestly, I want a second Pokemon that can actually do something just in case Charm goes down. Well, time for the Viola fight, and she was more challenging than I thought. So I with Drillzoid, she's with Cersei. I go for Poison Stings to get a poison on it. She does huge damage to the bubble. Just a bubble. I get the poison, then I hit a couple string stings, and Drillzoid goes down. And then Charm finishes Cersei off with a Gust. Out comes her ace, Vivian. I go for Gust, she goes for Heart. Next turn, she goes for Infestation, hit another Gust. She goes for Tackle as the next Gust crits, which is actually bad, because now she's in red, she's gonna heal. She heals another Gust. She then goes for Tackle, leaving a Charm at 7 HP, and a Gust finishes the fight. That was a tough fight. I honestly expected Charm to come in here and gust away over a Pokemon with ease, but no, she put up a hell of a fight. And also, congratulations, Charm. With this, you are now officially more useful than the last Pidgey was in last time I did this. So yeah, take that for you. Oh yeah, we got the badge. So, I'm looking at the encounter table for Route 4, and I'm thinking I'm gonna skip this one too. While there's a lot of good shit in here, like Badoo, Ralts, and Flabebe, I ain't getting a Ladybug, Skitty, or a male Combee, God forbid, on this team. I ain't testing my luck. And now, Drillmatic is evolving. This would have really been nice with the Viola fight. Well, on the plus side is, your stats are killer for now. And Sycamore was a sweep, so I'm not showing it. I'm also not using any of these Kanto starters. I didn't use Chespin, so why the hell would I use these? Also, not counting Snorlax. I swear I'm filling out this Final 2's team slots soon. I just want to be a bit more interesting instead of using starters and a Snorlax, okay? And now Butterfly is evolving. I now have a hairy Metapod with a circle head. There's a reward I didn't tell you about to be in Viola. It's Repels, and I'm gonna use them. Look, trust me, I'm gonna have a full team for the next gym fight, but I can do some semblance of team building here, and I really just want to try. Anyway, Tierno wants to fight, and he actually did some damage. I mean, most of my negligence, though. So he leads with Corphish, I lead with Drillozoid. I go for a couple of returns, use for a Swords Dance and a Vice Grip. Fair play. I didn't send out Charm, finish it with one last return. I wonder what pattern it's gonna get. I have no idea what regional form that is. Also, Charm's evolving too. It's a much less interesting evolution than the last one. And now it's time for the Chino and Treble double battle. I'll lead with Butterfly, Stan leads with Fletchling. I spam Struggle Bug as they gang up on her Fletchling for some reason. Down goes both Pokemon, out comes Serena's Breaks in. Let's play Bebe, I tackle, she embers it to death. Alright, let's move on now. Oh, this actually worked. I had a Repel up, but I think this send out is my level. Yeah, I was gonna say, I need something for my Fire, Rock, and Electricity. We can tap my team to be weak to it. And look what it is, the perfect counter, a ground type. This is very all off the cuff, not gonna lie. And I caught it. My only complaint is I would have preferred Moxie, but you know what? Intimidate's still an amazing ability. I'll call you Delight, because that's how I feel about finding you. So I actually have options what to do for my final, but you know what? I'm just taking my guts and going Glittering Cave. I bet I'll get something good out of this. Worst comes to worst, I get a Soul Rock or Lunatone. Alright, final encounter, final team member. It's gonna be a Machop, that's what I was hoping for. And just like that, my team is complete. I'll call you Apex. When you're fully evolved, you'll have a peck. You know, all things considered, this is actually a pretty dope team. Like, the biggest stinker here is Beedrill, but even then, it's not the worst Pokemon in the world. So yeah, we got all of our team members. Now let's get this run actually moving. Oh, now Luck wants to evolve, finally. And we're immediately skipping to Azumarill, because Azumarill is the most pointless baby Pokemon ever, and that's including Pichu and Chingling. And now it's time for the grand fight. He leaves Lamora, I leave with Apex. Just run away, but Apex has guts, and Karate Chop murders that thing 100 times over. Out comes Tyrant. A Crit Revenge murders that thing 20 times over. And that was the second gym fight. You know, it's kind of funny. Apex was a godsend here, because without him, this fight would have been a hell of a lot worse. Like, sure, I have a Azumarill, but look at my team. Rock kills almost everything else on this. Anyways, take a bench down, and now I'm on to Karina, I think. Yeah, it's a Karina fight. Well, the first one anyway. And Apex easily dominates her fight, but for some reason with both for Lucario, she likes going for moves like Metal Sound instead of actually attacking. She eventually does attack on the last turn, but by then, it's too little too late. And that fight gave enough EXP for Apex to evolve. And now I have just a buff dude. And now Delight's evolving. You know, I just realized that the two best Pokemon on my team is going to be a really buff dude and a Crocodile. And now it's time to fight Serena for the Mega Ring that I can't even use. So first up's from Meowstic, I leave with Butterfly, Struggle Bugs, eventually check it out. Out comes our Absol, same thing here. Struggle Bugs, eventually take it out, but I'm at red health. Let's just break, hit with a Stun Spore, I then swap to Delight and finish it in one dig. And now it's time to face Karina for the gym fight. And originally I was going to use Charm, except Pidgeotto is such a fucking worthless Pokemon that a Beedrill outdoes it. I set up a Swords Dance and Poison Jab through her entire team. Yep, a Beedrill is better than Pidgeotto at the Fighting type gym. And that is why I always prefer Fearow over Pidgeot, because Fearow, you get a lot earlier, and it actually learns good attacks in Drill Peck. You wanna know what the first non-Gust Flying type move Pidgeot gets? That's Wing Attack at level 30-fucking-8. So yeah, it's quite worthless, and it's my starter. Ain't that funny? And now Serena wants to fight again, but basically the exact same team, but a couple levels higher. I use Luck, I power up Punch a Bit on Meowstic, then Aqua Tail with the rest of her team, and especially murders her little breaks in. Got it, now on to the gym leader. Which is Ramos, a grass-type gym leader. You know, at the end of the Karina fight, I said that Charm was kind of useless. Well, guess what? Charm isn't kind of useless. This is her gym fight. And yet, she still struggled a bit. Jump Up could have one-shot with Fly. She does heavy damage to Acrobatics and then goes down. Go-Go comes out. Takedowns me at red hell, but then a Fly takes out. Let's up Sweet Bell. Fly crits and one-shots it. And honestly, knowing Pidgeotto, that crit probably mattered. You know what? Maybe we should stop being so negative about Pidgeotto. I mean, she did sleep this gym fight by herself, and also, now look how level she can evolve. Right before the electric type gym leader. This is just not your video, man. Speaking of which, she's evolving now. I know what we're all thinking about. That looks like Majin Buu. And now Apex is evolving. And now we have Tien when he did that one technique to grow an extra set of arms that he never did again, I don't think. Dragon Ball's full of weird one-use only techniques. And now we're facing Clement, the electric type gym lead. He's with a Mulga with Apex. Just for Alias is a little under half. I go for a Rock Tomb leaving heal range. He heals, now Rock Tomb heals, Rock Tomb heals. But here's the thing, Rock Tomb lowers speed, so now Apex outspeeds and finishes the Mulga with the Rock Tomb. Out comes his Magneton. For some reason, he goes for Electric Terrain instead of Thunderbolt, so 2 low sweeps take it out, and that's his Helios. He finishes the Apex with a Thunderbolt. I send into life, finish it with a combination of Dig and Power Up Punch. Clemency Mulga was the biggest threat to my team in this entire video, probably. That thing alone counters 5 out of 6 of my team members. Like, my best option really was using Apex with Rock Tomb, because I didn't want to waste health on the light. But anyway, we get the next gym badge, and now, on to bigger and better things. And never mind, we're facing Serena again. She's with me out like a little Butterfly. I go for a Bug Buzz, she goes for a Light Screen. No, Bug Buzz takes it out. Out comes her Delphox. She does the Mystical Fire. Butterfly barely tanks, hits the Stun Spore. Hits a couple Bug Buzzes because she's paralyzed, but then goes down to another Mystical Fire. I then send a Joe's Life finish with an X-Scissor. Lots of Absol and X-Scissor kills it. Serena, you got swept by 2 Route 1 bugs. You should really reconsider yourself. Now, this is the better things I was talking about. Delight's finally evolving. And for better or for worse, my team is fully evolved. And now we're facing Valor, the Fairy-type gym leader. And Delight swept her. Since Maul can't do anything, I set up 5 power-up punches and Dig takes it out. Then Mr. Mime gets one-shot by a Crunch. And then Sylveon gets one-shot by a Dig. I know my poison type's a fucking Beedrill, but it's hilarious that a Crocodile swept the Fairy-type gym leader. Oh well, got the badge. And speaking of sweeps, the Serena fight. This fight shows you why Vivian is the greatest early game bug of all time. Because it gets Sleep Powder and Quiver Dance naturally. So I can put it to sleep with Sleep Powder, Quiver Dance, and I have leftovers to offset the hail damage here. Put it back to sleep, Quiver Dance some more till I'm +6. Then I either Bug Buzz or Drain Crest through her entire team and one-shot everything. So what we learned in this fight? That Vivian is #1 bug. And now it's time for the Psych-type gym leader Olympia, and Delight sweeps her entire team. Crunch one-shots her Sigilyph, and then one-shots her Slowbro. Now comes Meowth, giving the Fake Out and a Shadow Ball, but it's a Meowstic and I'm a Dark-type. Crunch one-shots that thing. I just realized I said she has a Slowbro, but in reality she has a Slow King. Oh well, it doesn't matter, he still got one shot. And now time to stop Lysander's plan, because he wants to kill everyone because they're ugly. So the Lysander fight, Lux sweeps him. Azumarill is just the ultimate counter to Lysander's entire team. Mienshao goes for Swords Dance, so play rough one-shots it. Out comes Pyro, he goes for Fire Blast, and Aqua Tail kills it. Launch goes X. I have to go for Aqua Tail on it, and I still one-shot it. Now this is Ace Gyarados, Mega Gyarados. I swapped the Drozoid to get rid of the Intimidate and as a sack off, but he surprisingly takes an Earthquake, then outspeeds it next turn, almost goes with an X-Scissor. He then falls to an Aqua Tail, but then allows me to send Luck back out and kill with the Play Rough after taking an Earthquake. Lysander got swept by an Azumarill and a fucking Beedrill of all Pokemon. So after the embarrassment of getting swept by a Pokemon he can find on the second and third routes of the game, Lysander kills himself. Or whatever his fate is, I don't know. I still haven't beaten Legends Z yet. That game was a massive disappointment to me. Anyway, moving on. Up next is Rival Bridge, where you fight Shauna, Tiana, and Turret. But here's the thing, you can easily sweep all of them with 1 to 2 Pokemon each. Since their highest level is level 51, at this point you're gonna be in the mid to late 50s. So yeah, I took them all out easily. Let's see if the final gym leader can prove any sort of challenge. And surprisingly, Wolfric the final gym leader does prove a bit of a challenge. First up is Abomasnow, Apex is Brick Break one-shot, same as Cragnole, but out comes his Ace Avalugg. This thing is a defensive monster. So I go for Brick Breaks, he goes for a Curse, he eventually takes out Apex with Avalanche after he cursed up a shit ton of times. But then that's an Luck, finish it with Surge after he heal stalled for a bit. Look, I said it was a bit more challenging than normal, I didn't say it was actually a hard fight. You know, that got me thinking, what would be the hardest Wolfric fight? Maybe they do a Grass-type only challenge in this game. Like, that can actually be very hard too, because Elite Four, all of them but Seabold resist Grass. You know what, that'll actually be a future challenge I do eventually. Grass-type only in Pokemon X, I'll do that later. Also, I got the badge and the Ice Beam TM, both two completely useless things to me. Now on to the Elite Four, but first the Serena fight. I am all out of order right now. So here we are, the final fight with Serena. She was with me out, so I can leave with Drozoid as a joke. Drozoid long past his usefulness, so I decided to see if I could set up a Swords Dance on it. And I could. He took a fucking Psychic from Meowstic. I did not see that coming. I thought he was dead in one shot. He then takes me out with an X-Scissor, and out comes her Delphox. It almost kills it with a Poison Jab. So fucking close. But then Drozoid falls to a Flamer. But you know what? I am still impressed. He took that like a champ. I then send in Luck and finish Delphox with an Aqua Tail. Out comes Jolteon. I'll get an easy swap to Delight, finish it with the Earthquake. Out comes Altaria, goes down 2 Outer H's. And last up's her Absol. I swap to Apex and kill it with the Brick Break. And here we are, the Pokemon League, where I'm bringing a Beedrill and a fucking Vivian to the Elite Four. And ironically, both of them are fanned right now. Okay, let's get to it. And the first one we're facing is Malva, the fire one. Delight sweeps her entire team. Earthquake one-shots Pyroar. After a Braver from Talflame, Rockslide one-shots it. Out comes Torkoal. Earthquake tanks it. She heals also for a bit. Earthquake eventually takes it out. And last up is a Chandelure. Earthquake one-shots it. Okay, on to the next member. And next member is Wickstrom, the Steel-type one. And Delight sweeps this one too. I just spammed Earthquake. And also, he's holding the Metronome. Makes me like a one-shot Caesar with it. He does do some damage with Sacred Sword on Aegislash and a Flash Cannon on Probopass. But nope, he still falls to the Crocodile. Also, good thing I have Ethers, because holy shit, I've already used like 13 Earthquakes. On to the next member. Next up is the Dragon Mommy Drazza, and Delight gets his third sweep in a row. I didn't even mean it this time. So this Dragology, Earthquake one-shots on that side. Fuck it, I'll go for hours, see how far it takes me. I hit all 3 Outrages and kill all of our Pokemon. The only damage she does is Jardigan's Rough Skin and a Dragon Pulse from Noivern. Jesus Christ. Now on to the final member. The final member is Seaball, the Water-type member, meaning no sweep with Delight, but I can sweep with Betterfly. I put his lead closer to sleep instead of 3 Quiver Dance, and he wakes up into Water Pulse and then falls to a Hurricane. Out comes Barbaracle, and I'm being cocky. I go for a Bug Buzz, thinking it'll one-shot, because it's +3, because why won't it? It doesn't. Barbaracle's on red health, but then he misses the Stone Edge. He heals, I go for another Quiver Dance, and Bug Buzz one-shots it this time. Out comes Gyarados, puts to sleep for stasis. Gyarados is pretty tanky on the special side, but it didn't matter. Hurricane still one-shots it. Lots of Starmie, and a Bug Buzz murders that thing. Now on to the champion. Here we are, the champion fight with Diantha. She loses to Hawlucha, I'll lead with Charm. Fly one-shots it. Out comes Tyrantrum. I give her Feather Dance, intending to sack off Charm, but she misses Head Smash. So I said, fuck it. I swapped to Apex and easily taking a Head Smash. Then I kill it with the Brick Break. Out comes Goodra. She hits the Dragon Pulse. I give her Brick Break 2.5. No Dragon Pulse leaves Apex at red. Another Brick Break takes out the Goodra. Out comes her Auroras for some reason. Apex outspeeds and murders it with a Brick Break. Then comes out Gorgas. I go for Poison Jab, intending to let Apex die, but she goes for Phantom Force for some reason, so I take the free swap to Charm. I then go for Fly, and I miss. Next Fly hits and an Aerial Ace kills it. Last up's her Ace, Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir. I go for Return, and I barely miss a knockout. She kills Charm with a Thunderbolt. I then decided to send Drillzoid as a joke, knowing she was going to heal. She goes for it, and then Drillzoid one-shots it with a Poison Jab. A fucking Beedrill kills the champion's Mega Pokemon and the final boss of the run in one hit. I did not see that coming. I am actually surprised about that. Like, I know these games are regarded some of the easiest in the series, but I'm surprised a Beedrill could tour so much of this game, including the champion's Mega Pokemon. This game was really fun to use, and hey, Charm here is more useful than the Pidgeot in the last round, so congratulations. And I hope you all enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, future all that bullshit, and I'll see y'all later. Peace, bitches!